Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, where you can sign up to be a member of the Shannons Club, your local Holden certified service centre, Pace Farm the enjoyable egg, and Heron Forbes Machinery House, where you can buy online. G'day, I'm Fletch and welcome to the show. You know, there's one thing that I love about filming Classic Restos, and that is the different content that we bring you each and every week. Today, it's a father and daughter team, and you're about to see them in this week's Classic Restos on the road. Behind me, we have a father and daughter classic duo that have travelled quite a distance here to the Geelong region in Victoria to feature on the show. It's time now to meet Andrew and Kate. So what we have here is a bloke with his beloved EH Wagon and his daughter Kate and her very rare 1956 Morris Oxford. As you can see, the mechanical nuts and bolts didn't fall far from the tin, as Kate has obviously followed in her dad's oil-drenched footsteps. More on Kate later. So now it's time to break the ladies before gentlemen rule as we find out from Andrew a little more about his Holden. And away we go. How you doing, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Fletch.
That's the way, mate. Beautiful wagon here, 64 EH Wagon, getting a little bit thin on the planet now.
Yeah, not a lot of them around, but highly sought after. Yeah.
And you said it's 1 year younger than you or older than you?
It's 1 year older than me.
How's that make you feel?
Yeah. Young.
Yeah, it's going in the right direction, right?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Okay, now the wagon. All right, you got to tell us a story here. Where does it go back with you? Were you looking for an EH wagon, or did it happen to come along?
Yeah, look, I had an EH when I was a teenager, obviously, and I always wanted another one. I got rid of it when I bought a house and started a family, as everyone does. Yep. And for 30 years I've been wanting another one, and Kate found this sitting in a paddock, and I actually went up a week earlier to buy another one and passed on it because it was too bad. Drove through Malmesbury with the trailer, empty trailer, and I get home and Kate says, "Oh, Dad, I found another one. It's in Malmesbury." So straight back the next weekend for another trailer.
I tell you what, you're about to see Kate a little bit later in the show. What a mechanical source she is. She's been actively involved in quite a few things, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's a real whiz. I've taught her a lot, and she's taught me a fair bit too, I guess. Yeah.
And isn't that wonderful, just on that note, as the father and daughter duo with the same interests?
Yeah. Kate's got an amazing passion for cars, which you'll probably find out later on, I guess. So, yeah.
Yes, we certainly will. We can't wait for that. All right. Now, Andrew, it's the old story. We want to know what this wagon was like when you found it.
Well, it was sitting in a paddock and it looked like a wrecking yard under a gum tree. The windows were down, it was full of rust, it was full of gum leaves, and had a dead rat in the tailgate, which took ages to get the smell out of. Yeah, it wasn't in a good way, and most people would have just chopped it up for scrap metal.
It's a little bit of the car's DNA in a way. It's a little bit of the history, bit of the past for the car, isn't it, when you find that sort of stuff?
It is, and it gives a talking point later on as well. So,
what about your wiring? Was that chewed at all?
No, the wiring was actually all in pretty good nick, so I've stripped it all back and gone right over and replaced what needed to. And yeah.
Now let's start on the inside. Original interior there. That's a good score, Andrew.
Yeah, it's sort of original. It's a reproduction trim, which was there's a guy in Bayswater that does all the copies. He's got the original GMH press.
That's exceptional.
Yeah, it's not the original colour. It was supposed to be the brown and Aztec gold, which just looked so outdated and horrible. So, yeah.
Now, that looks really, really good. And I remember too, we're a lot younger in the 70s, but guys that were maybe P-plate drivers getting around their EHs, I can always remember as a kid seeing the gauges there, the cluster, on top of the dash. And when you saw that, there was something extra sporty and racy that car was a fast car.
Yeah, you got to have the gauges. It's mandatory on an EH. Yeah, especially if you want a little, 80s style classic. Yeah.
And through into the back, I like what you've done. Nice touch there with the esky in the back. And a copy of the model car there too.
Yeah, it took a lot of work finding that esky, and it actually came off a hard rubbish pile along with the radio, which are highly sought after.
Absolutely. And the timber work in the back rear area is a nice touch as well. What's the colour of the car, Andrew?
The colour's actually a VE Commodore colour. It's called Alchemy.
Now, the 179 up front, have we done anything different there?
Yeah, it's the original motor that was in it when we found the car in the paddock. It's been brought out to a 186. It's just got a mild cam, yellow Terra Stage 3 head, and twin carbies, just all the usual 80s style stuff that you bang on.
Wasn't that a big thing in the day? 179 out to a 186, and then if you had a 186, you'd take it out to a 192.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, and the 202, and yeah. So
They were like, reasonable modifications back in the day, weren't they?
well, they were, yeah, and everyone today, they kept saying, oh, why don't you put a V8 in it? And I thought, well, no, everyone puts a V8 in it. I want the 6, and I just want the 80s style classic out of it.
And plus two, if it is the original engine to the car, I can see why you've left it in there.
Yeah, and it's just a nice touch, to have the motor that was in the car when we found it, yeah.
So, Andrew, I would like to thank you for your time out today and travelling down to Geelong from the other side of Melbourne. Weather hasn't been the best here today. Thank you so much for making the trip, and keep up your great work as well with your EH Holden.
No worries. Thanks, Fletch. It means everything to me, and it's family, the daughter, having a part in it. My son also had quite a part in it. It's just, I don't know, we love it, and we enjoy it. We go out, lots of family trips. I do actually think back about what they were like when they were brand new. My uncle even had a red EH station wagon, and I think he's what gave me the passion for these. The best part was actually getting it finished and that first drive that we went on. And we drove out of our street, we were on a permit. We drove out of our street and a guy came along and said, hey mate, beautiful car, do you want to sell it? In his BMW, and we just cracked up laughing. The worst part was cutting the rust out of the roof and thinking, oh my God, what have I got myself into? But we just worked through it and we got there, and just a piece at a time. And I just made a pact that I have to do at least one thing to the car every day to get it happening, and that just kept the motivation. And you do one little thing and that leads to another, and before we know it, it was less than 2 years, we had the whole job done. Oh look, they're amazing. You pull up to a set of traffic lights and people are giving the thumbs up and, oh mate, beautiful car, and well, can I take a photo? And they're always, lots of comments, and everyone says something about it.
I've been a motoring enthusiast all my life. My Coupe 4 is rare and very special. A real performance car with all-wheel drive grip. I'm not a car club bloke, and I don't work on it myself, but I do have a great mechanic. One day, I might even get that HQ. When it comes to insurance, it's got to be Shannons.
Shannons shares your passion. Call Shannons on 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
When it comes to cars, there are some brands that will remain with us forever, no matter what. The Holden was always Australia's own car, held high in the hearts of many. Those lines, that chrome, the stories around them, and the people that owned them. From the classic through to the final, you can still trust in genuine Holden and AC Delco parts, available through the Holden Certified Service Network. Meet Kate Dawson, a brilliant example of our next generation classic vehicle enthusiast coming through. This is a 1956 Morris Oxford Series 2. Now don't get that mixed up with the Series 1. I thought I would spend some time with this charming young lady, as I'm sure that you will agree she suits this car just perfectly. So Kate, why a 1956 Morris Oxford Series 2?
I saw the car online and I fell in love with it at first sight. I went, man, that thing is cute.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make this car my story.
That's brilliant. It's a little bit different to a lot of other British cars. It's a wider body, the Oxford, and I love the steel wheels. The wider steelies you've got on it really suit it well.
Thank you. Yeah, they're actually custom made. I had them especially made for the car. So they're actually designed for the Nissan Tita and the Holden Astra.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yes.
Same stud pattern.
Correct, that
Yep.
is correct. So these wheels were actually custom made based on the Nissan Tita.
Yeah. It's such a fun car. It's the turquoise. What's the colour, Kate?
It's tropical turquoise, one of the most famous known Chevrolet colours.
Yeah.
I had actually bought the colour before I'd bought the car.
Yeah.
I went out and bought the paint before I even had paint and had the car in my front yard. So
It's so 1956. You know, it's one of those pastel-y colours that it's just timeless, isn't it? You know,
it
it's,
is very well known for its summery, warm, bubbly colour.
Yeah. And look at you, complete with your P plates on the car.
Correct, yes. You don't see many 21-year-old girls driving around in a car that's 4 times their age.
I think you're the coolest chick on the block. Okay, so tell us about the Ladies Cruising Classics Club. It's 2021 there on the sticker. It's only relatively new. What can you tell us about
Yes.
that club, Kate?
So Ladies Cruising Classics is my own club. I've recently started that up only in 2021.
Your own club?
Yes, correct. So this car really inspired me to inspire other women, especially those of younger age, to really chase their dreams.
Yeah.
And you know, you can put your mind into anything.
Well, I think that's amazing. That's initiative, and you know, to see you so passionate, and obviously, you know, you're conscious of the fact that 1956 is a cool era for classic cars. So what is it? What do you love about the old cars?
I think for me, it's the fact I know my dad's so passionate about old cars. It really inspired me to be more attracted to the older school. I've always really enjoyed getting to go to things like Hastings Cruise Night and Wright's Iconic Rod Run, and you know, Uten Van Nat's up in Mildura.
Yeah.
You know, it's all that old school stuff for me that, you know, the environment just seems a lot more healthier, and it's something that I got to build to have with my dad.
Yeah, and plus it's something that we're all doing in typically different times, I guess. You know, we've got our car fraternities to look forward to, and you cover some distance as well. You just don't hang around Melbourne. I mean, you're not scared to get in and drive and do a few Ks either.
Absolutely not. I ended up putting this car on full rego so I can drive it any day and anywhere I like without hesitation.
So it rides quite nice, Kate. Into a bit of a sweeper now. Have you got a sway bar on this, Kate?
No, not yet. I'm hoping to put a sway bar on it, and I really want to take this to a few track days. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't think it had a sway bar on
No,
it.
you can really feel the corners.
Back in 1956, no one worried about that stuff. Not in these types of cars, did they? They went along doing what they did best, I guess. In regards to the engine, what can you tell us about that, Kate?
In less than a week, me and Dad decided to swap the engine for a car event, and we upgraded it to match the 5-speed gearbox I already had in here to a 4K Toyota Corolla motor. It's running carby and runs really nice, really nice.
So what size is the engine?
1200.
A 1200.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I just think you've done such a good job, and it's spacious in the front. Also reminds me of, being Morris, of course, a Mini. A very mini in the front around the dash area.
Very much so.
You know, lots of leg room. Yeah, I can see why you love this.
Yeah, this car is my personality now, and you know, everyone recognises the car, and then they recognise me, and you know, I drive past people on a daily basis in this, and if I've made someone smile, then I know I'm going to have a good day and I've done the right thing.
You know you are an amazing individual, you know that, don't you?
Thanks, Fletch.
Tell us about the build. When you were doing the resto, tell us about that. What were some of your experiences there?
The car definitely came in a lot worse condition than we thought it was. That's for sure. Had a cracked front window. There was rust in the floor. Needed a whole lot of work to it. Came on a tow truck. It needed the whole kit and caboodle basically, and went from there. And 2 years, 1 day short of 2 years, I had the old girl on the road.
And you did a lot of stuff at home with your dad?
Everything on this car was done at home with Dad.
That's
everything.
Awesome. That's awesome. So how do you feel driving it? Like, you know, it's a... do all your worries disappear?
Absolutely. I swear, like when I'm driving this, you probably can notice now, I'm driving with a smile, like I just don't notice it. Like I'm just so happy driving it, you know, you drive around and people give you thumbs up and the wave and you get the whole, this is awesome, you know, you're awesome, love it, you know, like it's a whole serotonin boost on a whole new level. It's your daily caffeine dose to me. It's my daily dose of caffeine.
Wow. So what age were you when the light bulb moment came on? Hey, I love my old cars.
I think it really hit as soon as I got my learners, that I was like, oh wow, like this is what I really enjoy doing. This is where my heart lies. And I was old enough to, you know, help him, and you know, we were in a position where we could buy it, and yeah, we went halves on the EH, and he put in 98% of the hard yards. I put in probably about 2 in that, but you know, we spent so much time together out in the shed, and without it I wouldn't have learned anything. I wouldn't have the passion that I do today.
Yeah, it's been priceless, hasn't it?
It has. It's an indescribable feeling to be able to get along so well and learn so much from someone that you look up to. And you know, I've had my mum's support and my brother's support as well. You know, everyone's chipped in.
Yeah,
everyone's chipped in.
That's good. They become a part of the family, don't they? They're, you know, I've said before on episodes of Classic Restos, sometimes I guess the ignorance of people where it's just a car. And, well, to some people I guess maybe a car is just a car. But I just believe different, you know. I mean, you work hard for it as well. It's something you work hard for. It become a part of your family, don't it?
It is.
You know?
It is, without a doubt. It becomes a lifestyle. It's more than just family, it's a lifestyle.
Well, it's been lovely driving with you, Kate. I've thoroughly enjoyed the experience with you, and I can see what this car means to you, and that means a lot to me as well.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here with you today, Fletch, and I hope you've enjoyed the drive.
I have. You drive pretty good too.
Thank you. Not bad for a pink later.
Yeah, with no sway bar.
My passion for cars began when Nana and Pop bought their new Toyota Crown. It was Nana's, really. She loved that car. We went everywhere in it. My passion now is just the same, even though my cars are a little different. I've still got Nana's car, couldn't part with it. And I reckon if she was here today, she'd be insured with Shannons too.
Call Shannons on 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
They may not be making the classic Holden anymore, but the legacy lives on. You can still have a Holden certified service using genuine Holden and AC Delco quality parts at over 180 centres across Australia. Go to holden.com.au to find your nearest centre. Book your Holden in, maintain the pride. Own a classic? It just has to be insured with Shannons. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote and a chat on 134646. And keep in mind too that the Shannons Club has never been easier to sign up to become a member of. For more information, visit shannons.com.au.
From the heart, what does this car mean to me? This car is more than just a car. It's the time I got to spend with my family members. You know, Dad really inspired me to do this, and he's helped me so much. And it's not even just family, it's all the random people that you meet along the way. Everyone I've met who's so supportive, you know, you make someone smile every day in the car. Because the car is so rare, there was quite a few issues where we had to get things made up for it. A lot of it was done by Dad himself, so he's very clever, but it was trying to work around those things that we just couldn't get here in Australia. And you know, I also had some issues with, the one thing that got put away was the door panels, and unfortunately that was a bit of an issue as well, but we worked around that. Ladies Cruising Classics is a club that I started and community I started to inspire other women and other people in general, not necessarily women, to really follow their dreams and restore their cars. I used Ladies Cruising Classics as my way of sharing my story, and along the way I've really grown to see that I've, really inspired other people here in Australia and overseas, and I just get to share my journey with everyone else, and I've empowered other people, and that's my goal, that no matter what you're going through or what you have or who you are, you can do whatever you put your mind to. I really aim to keep everyone inspired. Vehicles that are welcome in my club, we welcome everyone. I don't care whether you have a bike, scooter, motorcycle, car, you ride a skateboard. As long as you're here to be supportive and share your story, and you have the same goal to inspire those people and make someone smile, that's all I care about, is whether you want to be here and you want to support others. That's all that matters to me, is that you're happy.
How you feeling, Kate?
Pretty stoked, really happy to be here.
Happy that you've been on the show?
Yes, I'm so grateful. It's been an amazing experience getting to get to know you, and you get to know about me now, and we got to share stories, and it's been really cool.
It certainly has. So it doesn't get much better than a bit of sunshine, getting out in your car. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely not, including the 5 a.m. Sunday morning car shows. Can't go wrong with those.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
You can never be too early.
Absolutely not, absolutely not.
That's one good thing about car shows. Half the fun's getting there.
Exactly. A full tank of fuel and a coffee, and you're all good to go.
Yes, as a dear friend in the United States said to me many years ago, he said, happiness is a full tank of gas.
Exactly, couldn't agree more.
So, the Oxford, has she got a nickname?
She does. I call her Marge.
Marge.
Nickname is Marge. Or the Morris on steroids as well. That's her other name.
The Morris on steroids.
Yeah.
I had an Auntie Marge. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's nice, isn't it, when you've got something, you attach it with a name.
You know it's part of the family when you name it. You know it's going to stay.
Yeah. And, a lot of guys get cars and they flip them, they come and go. But then there's the people that get these classic cars, I believe, that they just keep forever. And I could just never imagine you selling Marge.
I told myself when I bought it, it was going to be the car that I would upgrade over time to get my dream car, which would be a Fleetwood Cadillac, but I think I'm too much in love with this car to ever let it go. It's more than just the fact it's a car, it's the sentimental value to me.
Of course.
You can never replace sentimental value.
No. Well, let's up the affirmation a little bit. How about you set the goal that you keep Marge and get the Cadillac?
That's the goal. The dream
There you
in
go.
life is to have a shed with a house attached, not a house with a shed. So that means more cars. Thanks, Dad, for that one.
Oh, God. Up and coming real estate agent as well. Unbelievable. Yeah, so don't flip Marge to get into the Cadillac.
Absolutely.
Keep Marge and still acquire the Cadillac. You can do it. You can do it.
Absolutely.
You can
Hard
do
work.
it. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I've really enjoyed this time sitting with you in the sun.
Me too. Thanks for having me, Fletch.
And thanks for taking me for a drive.
As long as you enjoyed it and I left you with a smile, that's all that matters.
You did, even without the sway bars.
A little bit of scare there.
Yeah, we still went round those corners all right, didn't we?
Ripping and rolling.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming along here today, Kate, and with your dad. It's been an absolute pleasure interviewing the both of you. And you take care of yourself, and yeah, we'll see you again sometime.
Thank you, Fletch. It's been a pleasure working with you.
You too, darling.
Take care.
You take care. Good on you. Well, what do we say? I hope you've really enjoyed this very special episode today of Classic Restos, featuring Andrew and his wonderful EH Wagon, and then the marvellous Kate with her 1956 Morris Oxford Series 2 sedan. I hope you liked it. Until next week, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch.
And I thank you very much for watching.
There you go. you can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, where you can sign up to be a member of the Shannons Club, your local Holden certified service centre, Pace Farm the enjoyable egg, and Heron Forbes Machinery House, where you can buy online.